Yo, yo, yo. All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Tuesday morning. It's sunny outside. It's a little bit brisk. Blessings to everybody in the name of Yeshua the Messiah, Jesus the Messiah. I pray everybody is super blessed. Now, for some reason, my starting screen is frozen. I'm gonna have to fix that, y'all. I'm gonna have to fix that. Shout out to everyone in the chat, guys. As usual, if we can get this stream up to 750 likes during the stream, I will be giving away 0.025 Bitcoin. Shout out to Heisenberg, shout out to CamG, shout out to Tom DeHauer, and shout out to G-Tech Paving. That's awesome. Shout out to Alpreen Uyar and TN4289. Shout out to 1% a day. Good morning to you, and we will be live in a few minutes, guys. In a few minutes. In a few minutes. Shalom to Albert Saban from Turkey. What is going on, my friend? God bless you. Shout out to TB from Romania, and Lucas Mark, and Tryptamine Nurse. The bot's coming great. The bot is amazing. All right, y'all, we are live, and Bitcoin is pumping, man. It is absolutely crazy, as you can see from the. Wait a second. What the Fauci? What the Fauci is going on around here? Son of a Bill Gates, man. This isn't Bitcoin. This is not Bitcoin. This is the Jason Casper like button index, guys. Just a quick reminder to like this live stream and also share it on all your favorite social media networks, including MySpace. And here's something I forgot to do. I forgot to tweet this video out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. I'm not even going to tweet it. But you can follow me on Twitter if you want, at Jason_Casper, all lowercase. As you can see right here, the Jason Casper like button index is even more bullish than Bitcoin. In fact, this is a trade setup I'm giving live for the like button on this video. You can see that we only have to risk 100% of our capital in order to gain a tiny little gain right here. Okay, totally a good trade setup. Definitely not financial advice. And with that being said, let's get into this Bitcoin. Let me pop really quickly into the chat here, and actually I'm going to go ahead and load this up so that I can actually communicate with y'all. And actually now that I'm here, I might as well. Let's go ahead. I'm going to tweet this video. If everyone can go follow me on Twitter and retweet this stream right here, that would be the bee's knees, guys. That really would be the bee's knees. So that would be cool if you guys could do that for me. So cool. All right, let's get into this analysis. So Bitcoin is pretty dang bullish. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, something that is very, very significant is that after a very long downtrend from the time of November 11th until this key day down here, January 24th, I remember where I was on this exact moment of time. I remember where I was. I was on my mom's toilet, and I had my computer on the hamper, and I was doing technical analysis in the morning while I was relieving myself, okay? And the reason why I remember this point so precisely is because I took a long trade from down here. In fact, there was a trade setup that I did give in advance in the VIP Discord. I wanted to long from around 32.8 to 32.9. We wanted to see bullish divergences on the 4-hour and down, and the daily looking like it could bottom out and take profit at these fib levels. Okay, take profit at these fib levels. And here's the thing, guys. I actually did take that trade. I entered it while I was on my parents' toilet, and that trade is currently in massive profits right now. I actually did also take another trade from around that same price area, much lower leverage, and basically I'm really stoked on that because, you know, it's not every day. It's not every day that you do long the bottom. And if anybody does want to get into the VIP Discord where we post trade setups like that, swing and scalp trades in advance, you can go to patreon.com/Jason Casper. We have a great community of traders in here who are posting the juiciest technical analysis like White Phoenix and K-Pax and Boyan. These guys are really, really good traders, and you can learn a lot by being in the community. We're all about helping people learn and building each other up. We're not about degrading each other, making each other feel stupid. So what is going on with the Bitcoin right now? Well, we did officially put in our second higher high from the bottom here. We put in that first high, then we came down, and then we put in our second higher high. So we are officially in an uptrend. We are in an uptrend on the daily time frame. Now, not only that, but if we take a look at just the macro market structure, which is so important to do, we can see that we did find very nice support at the bottom of this channel. Okay, there were a lot of other confluences here, which is why I took the long. I did know about this channel when I took the long. I had posted it in the Discord as well, but there were other confluences here that I used to get into that trade. And so basically, look at the money flow on market Cipher B. I think this is kind of key to show us what is happening. And this will also help us understand how much more of a move up we can get here. Right now, we can see that every time so far, of course, it's only 2 times, right? But, you know, you only have 2 times. That means it's 100% of the time, right? The lower your sample size, then the more your data can be skewed to your favor. So right now, I see that we have touched the channel. And as we touch the channel, soon after we get a money flow cross. And then we just pop on over to the high of the channel. And then we come down, touch the channel, right? Soon after we get the money flow cross on the daily time frame. And here's the thing, market Cipher B on those higher term time frames, you don't want to mess with it, right? You don't want to be counter trading market Cipher B on those higher term time frames, because when market Cipher B on the higher term time frames is giving you those signals, they are strong, right? They're strong. They're like horses pulling chariots, like the movie Ben-Hur. If you ever seen that movie where they have a horse race at the end of the movie, that's exactly what this is like, right? This is a horse race. And for me right now, what I am waiting for is I want to see the money flow on the daily time frame eventually come up and make a higher high. Because when we're looking at the macro money flow on the daily or higher, what we want to see is we want to see clear direction. So we could tell as we were coming right down that this was very bearish, because as we were getting higher, we could see the money flow coming down. A lot of times you will notice that not a lot of times, but most of the time you will notice that once this starts to reverse, right? Let's say now we start to get a higher high, and even if we come back down into the purple, let's say we do something like this, and then we get like a lower high, okay? And then money flow starts to get thicker. This could really be an indication that we are in a macro trend shift. Now, the reason why I'm getting a little bit more bullish now is because of the fact that we have made this second higher high here. And right now we are coming up to some very, very key areas of resistance in which, if we come above, I believe we can see much higher Bitcoin prices. But we have to be aware of the levels of resistance above us, because we cannot just long willy-nilly, right? I don't like to long willy-nilly. People are asking me, Jason, is it a good time to take a long right now? I mean, I don't know, guys. I have to be honest with you. No, no, it's not. Could the price pump from here, and could we go up way, way higher? Yeah, of course. But like, we have to wait for an entry to come to us, right? Just like your grandfather always told you when you told him you were getting into trading, and he was like, you know what, son? You're getting into trading, huh? Well, let me tell you a thing or two. I'm going to learn you a thing or two, son. All right? When it comes to trading, when it comes to investing, it's so easy. Anyone could do it. All you got to do is buy low and sell high. It's so easy, right? And you trust your grandpa. He's a wealthy guy. He came over here from Cuba in 1940-something and worked his way up to like the vice president of some huge company and did really well for himself, even though he came here with no education and didn't even know English. But you know what? I guess they don't make him like that anymore, but I'll tell you something. He was right. Buy low and sell high. That was right. And I'll tell you something else. Right now, this is high. This is kind of high. And we'll get into that. We'll get into why this is high. Now, personally, things do look bullish, I think. Like, you know, the money flow is getting thicker on the 1 hour. But let's take a look at some important levels of resistance above us. Okay, let's take a look. Now, first of all, if we just look at all this voluminous volume that we got here while we were trading within this this channel-y thingy, mabob jigger, okay, we can see that we are currently right now at a very key area, which is this chunk of high volume right here, right? We have this chunk of high volume right around here. And we could kind of draw a line right here on the chart and understand that this is not necessarily a line, but this is an area that we need to be aware of, right? Because what has happened is we have come up from this high volume node down here at around 39, and then we've come up now to this high volume node at around 47, 48. And so right now we are at an area of resistance. And if we look at the daily time frame as well, it does look like market Cipher B is getting ready to potentially print a red dot kind of soon, okay? What this can do for us if we are going to continue in this uptrend, which honestly, this is a very bullish trend. We have our low, our higher high, our higher low, our higher high. What we could do now is wait for another higher low to come in, right? Wait for another higher low to come in, because why would you want to? I mean, unless you're scalping and you have a good entry, and we do scalp, like in the Discord, we scalp, right? We take, there's trade setups I'm looking for right now in this area to long, right? And potentially maybe even get into a long very soon and ride it up much higher. But if we're trading higher time frames here, you know, if we just long willy-nilly without a plan, then we might end up like this is me. This is me one time when I got totally liquidated. You could tell this is me because of the hat, right? And I longed the top, and I just ended up melting like this, and I was crying, okay? And I couldn't tell if I was crying because I lost all my money or because my eyes were made out of these juicy red onions. But whatever the case, it was not good. So you don't want to end up like this, okay? You don't want to end up like this. So let's talk about some areas of support below us that we could potentially look for a retracement to, because we have had a very significant move to the upside, right? I'm not saying that this is going to end here, right? I mean, but we've had a 30% move to the upside. And there have been times, especially in the past, where we have much more than a 30% move to the upside. But the last time we came down to the channel, we had a 45% move to the upside. And then we had like a 15% correction. And then we had, coming over here, you know, we had some more moves to the upside and then smaller corrections. So what we should be trying to do if we're looking to long is we want to long the bottom of some of these smaller corrections here, because these corrections can be, I mean, let's just take a look here. I mean, they could be like 12, 15%, give or take. And so why would you want to long and then be 15% in the red? I mean, I guess if you're using super low leverage and you don't care, then hey, it's all good in the hood. It's all good in the hood. It's all good in the hood, you know? So I think something that's quite significant, and some of the things that we most notably need to pay attention to are, well, look at the 4-hour time frame. Now the 4-hour time frame might give you an entry here, honestly, because it's about to print a green dot and money flows super thick. So we know how the 4-hour time frame, super thick green dots, we know what that does, right? It gives us some massive pumps, okay? A massive pump, like as if you were on a very strict diet trying to cut down and get six-pack abs, right? And then one night you totally freak out. You go to the local pizzeria and you eat a whole pizza by yourself. And then you go to sleep, okay? And then the next morning you wake up and you do bicep curls and push-ups and chin-ups and squats for like an hour. You get the sickest pump in the world. All those simple carbohydrates, all the glycogen stores in your muscles making you feel super jacked, right? We might get a pump like that from the 4-hour time frame. But if we take a look here, and I think this is actually pretty key, and I'm going to turn off this I'm also going to turn off this channel here for now. I'm going to turn that off for now. I'm going to turn this off also for now. And let's just see what's going on here. Yeah, from around like January 5th, I would say, this is a little bit too high, from around this area right here, we had this pretty significant value area where the Bitcoin was pretty much trading from the high to the low, to the high, to the low, to the high, to the low, and now we have officially broken out of this value area. Now, if anyone's not sure what a value area is, I can quickly explain. So when we're analyzing price action, volume is very, very important, because whenever we're talking about volume, it means how much of the asset exchanged hands at a certain price. And this can tell us where there's a lot of liquidity in the market. Liquidity that can be then put back into the market if price gets to a certain level, right? Because if you are a large player, for example, if you want to enter a long position, okay, you have to have people, you have to have free asset in the market. You have to have people shorting in order for you to fill large long orders, right? You can't buy unless someone's selling, and you can't sell unless someone's buying. And so here's the thing. If we come up here and everybody's super bullish and people are only buying and no one's selling, if you're a big player, you're not going to be able to fill a long position. You need to have price come lower. And so what you do is you could push, if you were a mega whale, price down to these areas of liquidity right here. And then all of a sudden everybody starts to FOMO short, and then you fill your long orders from all those FOMO shorters, and then boom, you push the price up higher. And what these value areas do is they kind of define for us low and high, just like what our grandfather was talking about. So when we have the candles shaded in color, this is telling us this is a fair value for the asset. And if the asset price comes outside of the fair value, it's very probable we come back in. When we come to this high volume node, it's very likely we get a little bounce. When we come to the high again, come down, lose the low volume node, we come below the value area, we come back up into it, come above it, come back down, come below it, come back up. High volume node, bounce, come below it, come back up, right? You see how that works? And so we have officially broken out of this area right here, okay? We have broken out of this, and we consolidated here. We had a massive breakout, and now we're consolidating up here. This, to me, is a very important area of support, where if price does happen to come down here, I will be absolutely looking to get into a long position, because resistance, which this was resistance, right? Once we reclaim resistance, it becomes support, right? It's like the floor of a house, right? You got yourself a house over here, and this is actually a picture of my house. And in the house, there's two stories, okay? You got the top story and the bottom story, okay? And of course, you have a roof on your house, right? The roof is the protector of your house, and you got a little chimney here also. And if you are down here, right? You're down here. This is you, a little stick figure. You got two arms. You got a head, okay? If you then jump really high, right? If you jump super high like this, uh-oh, hang on. Oh, I can't, there we go. If you jump really high like this, whoa, you're gonna hit your head on the ceiling and come back down, right? Whoa, oh, coming back down, right? But if you climb up the stairs, okay? Now, if you jump up really high, you'll hit your head on the ceiling, but when you come back down to the floor, you're going to find support there. You're not going to fall through the floor unless you built the house yourself out of toothpicks and glue, right? And so that's the same with Bitcoin, right? If we come above a level the right way and we take the stairs instead of jumping, then if we come back down, we'll find support, right? And then we can jump up again, and maybe we can take the stairs into the attic of the house, right? And so, you know, that's essentially what we're looking to do right here. Now, if we come back to this area, we can also see that if we just take some Fibonacci levels from the, like, we could pull a lot of fibs here from the low to the high, right? We can see that right around that area, we also have the 382 Fibonacci retracement. And honestly, you know, depending on from what low we pull this thing from, because you could pull fibs from multiple lows. We could pull it from this low before that massive impulse to the upside. We can see that we do, in fact, have a Fibonacci retracement level right around this support. So if we are going to, let's say that we do start to come down from here, because again, we're at a resistance, we're at an area of resistance, then, you know, I would be looking down here to find support. Now, you might say that's a big move down, and you're right, that is a big move down, but let's talk about something else right here. We had a very, very fast move up. We had a very, very fast move up. And also, if you want to learn how to trade this way, right? the way all these things I'm talking about, you could check out. There's a course. I have a course. There's a 25% discount in the description of this video. This course will give you a very clearly defined point A to point B comprehensive trading system so that you always know when you are looking to enter a trade, when you're looking to exit a trade, basically so that you always have a plan in advance, so that you never have to contact me on Discord and say, hey, Jason, I longed Bitcoin from $69,000 and now we're down at $30,000. What do you think I should do? Like, should I add margin to avoid getting liquidated? Should I cut my losses? Should I pray we come back up? And the answer I always give is, I don't know. I don't know. What was your plan going into the trade? And they're like, oh, I didn't know you were supposed to have a plan. Well, yeah, you're supposed to have a plan. So that's what this course will teach you. And this is literally changing the way thousands of people approach the markets. I've had multiple people come to me and say, Jason, I've been able to quit my job and trade full time after internalizing this information. Check out the 25% discount. Yeah. And so if we do come back down to this area right here, all right. In fact, let's look at a few things also. Let's pull another fib. Okay, let's pull another fib. If we start to come below this golden pocket right here, and this golden pocket is absolutely a place to potentially look for a long trade, we had a very, very fast move up. And what this does is it creates something called single prints, right? Single prints. And what single prints do is basically, if the price comes back into those single prints, it's very, very likely that price just falls all the way through. Okay, so we can see right here, this is a TPO chart. And on the way up on this half-hour candle, we just shot through here. And it has formed something over here called rows of single prints. Now, without getting too in depth of what these things are, this is basically a time profile showing us how much time did Bitcoin spend at each price, okay? And if Bitcoin spends more than, you know, if it is at one price for more than one half-hour candlestick, we will print multiple rows of prints here, giving us this nice profile that's showing us where the most time was spent. And if we spend very little time somewhere, we get these single prints, okay? Now, if the price comes down and comes into these single prints, there's a very high chance that it will just come down right through here. And so, for that reason, if we just come down right through here, I would be looking to potentially get into a trade here. Now, of course, we have to lose some support for that to happen, but we're just coming up with some ideas, right? That's all we're really doing. We're just coming up with ideas. We're just thinking out loud. We're just saying there's a nice area of confluence right here where we have the value area high of this old range thing here. We have a 382 Fibonacci level where we have single prints that will be filled right here. There's some confluences down here, right? And so that is something I'm looking for. Another thing I'm looking for is we can see clearly that we do have a golden pocket and this super high volume node. So if, for example, we come in here and we're actually losing this, perhaps we'll put in our higher low down here at around 42K. 42K is a very important level. We can see that it was acting as consolidation and then support and then resistance and then support and then resistance and then resistance and then resistance and then support. And so, you know, if we lose that important level, well, then I'll be looking down to here. And of course, I don't really enter trades unless I get my confirmations on Market Cipher B. And so what I'd be looking for on Market Cipher B is something like this, right? Let's say we do come down here, and let's say that this VWAP doesn't cross. It looks bullish right now. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we get one more push up. That's kind of what I'm expecting. But let's say that it doesn't happen, and let's say that something happens, and now the VWAP starts to curve down, and we start to print a wave, and the wave comes down, and then we start to, the VWAP, it turns into a floppy woppy, and then we start to see this thing curve up right here, and we're about to print a green trigger wave right here while the money flow is pretty thick in the green. You know, then you could look to get into a very juicy long right there. And also, if we come down here and something like that happens, that would be pretty dang juicy as well. So those are some areas to the downside that they do tickle my fancy, okay? They tickle my fancy. I have a little feather duster. And I have it hooked up to my laptop. And when I'm doing technical analysis, I have it hooked up with an interface so that when I have a nice confluence like the golden pocket and the high volume node, this feather duster automatically just tickles me in the fancy. You know, it's nice. It's nice. You ever have something tickle your fancy before? It's kind of fancy, guys. It's kind of fancy. It's kind of fancy. It's like that time you went to that wedding and you felt totally out of place because like there's like 5,000 forks and all these cups and stuff, and you don't know what to eat first, and then you're starving, and they come out with like 2 leaves of lettuce with like and it's called the first course or whatever. Super fancy, super fancy. And I always hated those guys. I hate those kinds of shindigs. Never have one. First of all, they're expensive. Second of all, I'm a hungry guy, man. I'm not trying to eat 2 leaves of lettuce for my appetizer. Then they bring out the main course. It's supposed to be filet mignon. They give you this tiny little piece, and like the whole plate's a huge plate with like a 1-ounce steak on it, and then they like drizzle the sauce across the whole plate to make it look fancy. It's fancy, guys. It's fancier than these levels and the feather duster and the tickles and everything else. Also, make sure to like the video, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel because you can't get this stuff on cable TV. You can't get it on satellite. Only on the Jason Casper YouTube channel. And just a quick reminder, guys, this is not financial advice, nor am I a financial advisor. I'm just a guy, idiot YouTuber, as the title says, Pikachu hat, crooked glasses. I'm totally in this for the ByBit affiliate links only, right? Only for the ByBit affiliate links, okay? You could tell that open mouth. Why am I so shocked? I'm so shocked because of all my ByBit affiliates that I'm getting right now. Okay. So let's talk about some levels to the upside. We've talked about some levels to the downside. Let's talk about some levels to the upside. Let's see here. Yeah, another thing, guys. We are about to print this red dot on the daily. So I am kind of expecting potentially some kind of a pullback, right? It doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be catastrophic. It doesn't have to be, but the truth is, y'all, the truth is we are coming up to some areas of resistance. So let's talk about what a few of those are. All right, let's talk about what a few of them are. First of all, we have an interesting area of resistance right up here. If we get another big push to the upside, right around $50,700. Okay, right around $50,700. And there are other levels before this, right? There are other levels before this, but this is one that I'm really looking at. And in the VIP Discord, I posted every level I'm looking for. I'm sure a lot of people watching this video are already in the Discord, since most people who watch my channel already kind of are part of the community, I guess. And this is an important area right here. This daily area of resistance. Now, why is this a daily area of resistance? Because when we're looking at the daily time frame, we can see that for a while, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, the candles were unable to close above this level. They tried, guys, but they couldn't. And so this gives us now an area of resistance. Now, something else that I like about this area of resistance is the fact that we have a Fibonacci level right here as well. If we pull our golden pocket from the all-time high to the low of this dumperoni and cheese, and we turn on our 0.5 fib level, what do we have right here? Well, we have ourselves a very nice 0.5 fib level right on this area of resistance. Okay, now something else that I'm pretty sure we have right there. If we go to a volume profile chart in Exocharts, and by the way, if you do want to learn how to use Exocharts and trade with Orderflow and market profile and TPO, you can check out the course. Me and Boyan in the Discord, he's a really good trader. We worked on this course together. There's a link in the description. But if I'm not mistaken, if we go back in time to those days, in those days and at that time, we also do see clearly right here that we have a naked daily point of control at $50,875. Okay. $50,875. $50,875. $50,875. Hang on. $50,875. Okay, cool. Okay, and this is a naked daily. A naked daily. Boom. Yeah, so we have some resistance up here, right? We have some resistance up here. And so these are the places where we need to be looking out. We need to be watching out for potential rejections, okay? Potential rejections. And they could be hard rejections. They could be really, really hard rejections, okay? Like that girl from high school. You know the one I'm talking about. The one with the beautiful blonde hair. The one who was really beautiful, and you really had a thing for her, and you were talking to her, and things were going really well, right? Things were going really well, and she liked you. She thinks you're funny. She thought you were funny. She thought you were really cool, and you're like, man, this is great. You know, I think I'm gonna ask her out after school, right? And so you're excited because you know she likes you. You guys hang out. You walk to class together, right? She laughs at all your jokes. She just thinks you're the funniest thing since sliced Wonder Bread. It is really funny, sliced Wonder Bread. I mean, come on. It's so funny that Americans were convinced it was healthy for you. That is funny. So she thought you were the funniest thing since sliced Wonder Bread. And so you come up to her and you're like, hey, you know, because that's, if you want it, guys, if you want a girl to like you, you have to walk up to her and be like, hey, all right? You're like, hey, trying to hang out after school. And that's when you realized, okay, you realized something. You were in the friend zone, right? She's like, ugh, bleh, you're like my brother. Ugh, that's so gross. Right? Hard rejection, hard. All the work. You know, you tried to be nice to her. You tried to be funny. She doesn't like nice guys, right? She doesn't like nice guys. Meanwhile, she's interested in this total, well, we won't go down that road, guys. We won't go down that road. And here's the thing. When we do come up to this area as well, we're coming up near the center point of this channel that we're trading in, right? We have this zone right here, the center point. And, of course, we can just see clearly that this level, okay, around the $51,000, was very important support. And then, again, resistance. And then, again, resistance. And then resistance twice. And so we do need to be aware that there's a lot of liquidity here, okay? A lot of liquidity there that could be released into the market where large players could fill some nice shorts, right? And, you know, it doesn't have to be a catastrophic move to the downside, right? I'm leaning more bullish now than I was a while ago. But if we do get, let's say we get one massive last push, okay, we could then top out right here. And we also have to be aware of the fact that depending on how fast that push-up happens, right, we could actually get some bearish divergences on some of these higher term time frames, right? It depends on what happens. Like if we consolidate here for a little bit more, and then we get this massive last push up, this could actually give us on the 4-hour time frame something called a bearish divergence. Now, what is a bearish divergence? A bearish divergence is when you have a momentum wave right here, and then you have a not so big momentum wave right here while the price is making a higher high. So you want to see the price making a higher high, momentum making lower highs. When we get this on the 4-hour time frame, it's actually very, very bearish, right? It's very, very bearish. So we had one right here, and look, we get a move to the downside. I'm pretty sure, I'm actually convinced, and I know for certain I shorted that. It was only a 4% move, which is not a bad trade. But when this happens, let's see where else did this thing happen, because it happened right here. Look at this, right? We came up, higher high, lower high on the 4-hour time frame, and then boom, we came down quite a bit. And the way you can identify these things is basically they look like, if you take a look here, it looks like, especially if we flip this thing upside down, all right, we'll invert the scale right here, boom, it looks like an uneven butt cheek. Uneven butt cheeks, right? We got the left butt cheek nice and big, and the right butt cheek not so big. Of course, this is now upside down, okay? So we have ourselves uneven butt cheeks right here, okay? Uneven butt cheeks, right? We have the left cheek nice and big and nice and round, and then we have that right butt cheek. Very, very skinny, extremely skinny. Just like that waitress at the diner. You know the one I'm talking about. She's super skinny. She got the veins popping out of her neck and her hands. She smokes too many cigarettes. She kind of sounds like this, all right? She got a Brooklyn accent, too, all right? Hang on, I'm going out for another cigarette. Hey, Dolores, get over here. This guy needs another cup of coffee. You get him a cup of coffee. I'm going to go outside and smoke a cigarette, all right? But here's the thing. You don't know this about her, but she's a gymnast, all right? She's a gymnast, and so she's good at hanging upside down, doing handstands and stuff. So you might see her like this, all right? You might see her like this, hanging around upside down in the diner, smoking a cigarette while she's upside down, right? Because, you know, if you got to be smoking, at least do some exercise. It's good for your cardiovascular system, all right? And so that might happen over here on the 4-hour time frame, okay? And so, you know, this is potential what we're looking for here, right? To potentially get into a short, to potentially short the higher high, because just because we're in a major uptrend doesn't mean we can't be shorting, right? Just because we're in a major uptrend doesn't mean we can't be shorting. Anyone ever short at school? That's the worst feeling in the world. You don't know what to do. Do you go to the nurse? What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? She doesn't have underwear for you. You know? You're gonna call your ma? You're gonna tell your friends? You're gonna walk around with it all day for the rest of the day and not tell anybody? And everyone's gonna be sniffing you. What's that smell? You can't tell them. Can't tell them. It's too embarrassing. It's too embarrassing. It's even more embarrassing than that rejection you got from that girl. All right? Now, of course, there are other levels here, too, that we need to be aware of. These are just the major ones. The next major level of resistance, if we come above that 51K area, well, I'd say there's a few. First of all, I'd say that the $53,000 area is important because it's a low volume node. All right, 53K is important because it's a low volume node. Let's clean up the channel a little bit. That 53K area is a low volume node. Okay, so basically what that means is we can look at this as an area where Bitcoin will again be overbought. Okay, it will be overbought right here. We could come up, grab all the liquidity that's in the market from these highs, and then reject from that high volume node, okay, around 53K. That's an important area, and again, we know we'll be looking for this, right? Then if we come above that, really, this high volume node right here is also a very juicy level, because not only is it a high volume node, but if we pull out our Fibonacci, from the high to the low, and we put on my favorite fib levels, the 0.618 and the 0.65, also known as the golden pocket, we can see that, hang on. We can see that we have the golden pocket coming in right around that area as well. So we have a nice zone of confluence. Now, personally, if we come above here, right, let's say we come above here, we get a little rejection, we put in our higher low, and then we come up here, we get a little rejection, we put in a higher low, okay, and then we come above here and retest that, what used to be resistance, now support, right? Then I think Bitcoin can absolutely hit new all-time highs. And although I was and still maintain more bearishness, right, because this is very possible to happen. That is very, very possible to happen, especially if the money flow doesn't make a higher high on the daily time frame right here. It's getting pretty close. But the reason why that's very possible is because, you know, if we come over to the B to the L to the X, all right, the BLX chart right here. This is Bitcoin since its inception, everybody. Okay, since 2010-ish, 2009. When did Bitcoin get invented? I don't know. I'll tell you what I wasn't doing. I wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying it. Neither were you. Well, I only know one guy who's had Bitcoin since like 2009. And, you know, it's crazy. I didn't get in until 2016. So I guess since 2010, right? A year after I graduated high school, right? I want to point something out, okay? When we zoom in to all the major booms and busts, all right? Booms and busts, we can see something interesting. Whenever the corn pumps and then crashes, one of the most popular, very popular, extremely popular, okay, areas to retrace from is the golden pocket. So for example, look at this. 2013, Bitcoin pumps and then dumps, and then it comes up and rejects off that golden pocket, comes down, comes up again, rejects off the golden pocket, down, right? These are macro golden pockets, okay? Macro. I'm talking like Fred Durst cargo shorts in 2001 macro golden pockets, all right? And then we come over to the next time that this happens in 2017, right? Look at this. Look at this. This is another one, right? we come up, we come down. Look at that. Look at that. Reject off the golden pocket perfectly. And not only that, but you know, even golden pockets along the way down, like, you know, our first pump and then the dump, and then we come back up and we reject very nicely off this golden pocket here. And so it is very possible that we reject off that golden pocket. And then the fake bull run in 2019 also, if I'm not mistaken, the fake bull run in 2019 from the low to the high, reject right. Did we? I guess we didn't. We didn't reject off the golden pocket. So I'm wrong, guys. I'm totally wrong. I'm totally wrong. But if we pull it from this high, then we reject off the golden pocket. So we do need to be aware that there's potential for us to come lower. And also, we need to be aware that on the weekly time frame, although things look very bullish right now, we could do something like this where the VWAP just crosses over again, and we print a lower trigger wave here, and then come down for a lower momentum wave if the money flow crosses into the purple. That could really bring us down pretty low. Pretty low. So we do have to be prepared for upside and downside. That's why it's so important to always have a plan so that you can long and short and do whatever you want in the context of the market. And if you don't know how to do that, you could check out the course at jasoncaspertrading.com. 25% discount in the description. Yeah. Also, this could be a giant bull flag too, right? This thing could be an absolute giant bull flag from the Roni Baloney to the all-time high. I mean, honestly, but this could be a giant bull flag, in which case, if we do break out of this, we could be looking at Bitcoin prices of about $130,000. And that's not too crazy, guys. That's really not too crazy. That is only 93% above our all-time high. So we've seen Bitcoin do crazy things like that. That's not too crazy. And here's something else that will really, really tell us, in my opinion, whether or not that is going to happen. It's the daily money flow. If we start to see this daily money flow making a higher high, higher than on market Cipher B, higher than 30.4, that will tell us that we are entering into a macro, if it fits your macros, uptrend. Okay, if it fits your macros. Okay. As long as it fits your macros, you can go ahead and eat those Pop-Tarts. Never mind that it's killing you slowly, giving you diabetes and heart disease. As long as it fits your macros, you could look good on the outside, and it's all good in the hood. Let's pop into the YouTube chat and see if anybody's even still watching. Wow, about 400 people. That's amazing. Man, if you guys could like the video, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty dang cool to like the video. Maybe it would help my self-esteem a little bit too. And as usual, if we can get 750 likes, I'll be giving away 0.025 Bitcoin. I don't think I'll ever get that many likes in the stream, guys. Let's see who we got in here. Let's do some shout outs. Shout out to Memory Man. Memory Man is a great person, a great musician. If you search this on YouTube, you'll check out his music. He's a really good musician. And no, Joe, I did never shart on stage, thank God. William Carey knows the waitress Dolores. Shout out to Yaha Tariq. Thanks for being here. Shout out to Dave Hagen. The ETH Bitcoin chart in the daily is looking juicy. Let's check that out after this. Shout out to Sunny. I'm glad you found the self-sufficient video inspiring. I don't usually use log, Alex. I usually keep it on standard. Shout out to CB. Shout out to Puppy Chow. God bless Puppy Chow. Shout out to Chiara Bertoni. Luis Rivera. What's going on, Luis Rivera? Thanks for being here, man. Maybe I'll get 750 likes one day. You know, my stream, my YouTube channel used to get a lot more viewers during the stream. I used to get like almost 1,000, sometimes more per stream. But I think I've said some things that pissed off YouTube. That's my hypothesis. That's my hypothesis. I like Exocharts better than Trading Light, but that's because I've never used Trading Light. Luke Brisbane, what's going on, man? It's good to see you guys here. Let's actually take a look at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart real quick. Do you want to? Tom wants to call me Jasper. Well, that's a combination of my two names, so you know, whatever. Let's take a look at the ETH Bitcoin chart here. Okay. So ETH Bitcoin, guys, has been trading kind of in this channel, right? And the thing about this is this will really tell us. It will give us. This is the barometer, the thermometer. All right. That kind of will tell us when we can expect altcoins to pump. Because when Ethereum pumps against Bitcoin, it can really make all the altcoins pump, right? This is when we kind of go into altcoin season. So, you know, March of 2021, that was definitely an altcoin season. I remember it very vividly. I was trading every single breakout altcoin in the world. Any triangle I saw, any green dot on market cipher, longed, baby. Longed it, baby. And it worked out pretty dang well. You know why? Because this is our barometer. So when we're seeing bullish signs like money flow crossing over on the market Cipher B, on the ETH Bitcoin pair, it can really give us a feel for what is going to happen. So right now, we are getting something on the 2-week time frame that, in my opinion, looks pretty juicy, at least for some potential, as CryptoFace would say, some meat that we could get, right? Because here's the thing. Even if, I mean, look at the money flow, right? The money flow is kind of getting thicker as this 2-week VWAP is about to print a green dot right here. Now, you know, the bearish divergence is a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit creepy. But the fact that we have put in, okay. But here's the thing: even if we're still going to come down a little bit, you know, once we start to see this VWAP crossing over, we can expect Ethereum and other altcoins to get a pretty significant move to the upside. Now, something else we need to keep in mind is we have this massive cup and handle pattern potentially forming on the ETH Bitcoin chart. And honestly, we could even draw this thing a little bit differently, which is like this. Okay, we'll take it from here, and potentially we could be expanding this thing a little bit more, right? Let's just hypothesize here what is possible. So let's say, for example, right, we come up to this key area of resistance right here. Okay, this is a key area of resistance. All right, resistance. And we have a very, this area, again, it tickles my fancy, right? I got the feather duster out connected to the computer. When I see a golden pocket and a weekly level together, the feather duster just tickles me right in the fancy. Because what we could do is we could do something like this, and then we could trade in a descending channel like this, and then break out of that cup and handle. And this could give us a massive, massive altcoin season, the likes of which we have not seen since that good old bull run in 2017, right? And even 2018 for a little bit after Bitcoin officially started to crash. We still saw those altcoins pumping for a while there, and even Ethereum pumping for a while there, right? And so the target of this this cup and handle could be, right, just roughly, right? I'm not a cup and handleologist over here. If you want that, check out Crypto Lifer. He's definitely a cup and handleologist. All right, I'm not. Right, I just use these things as rough estimates. But we're talking, I mean, we are absolutely talking about at one Ethereum being worth almost 0.2 Bitcoins, okay? If, let's say, this were to happen and you took all your Bitcoin right now and put it into Ethereum, we're talking about you're increasing your Bitcoin holdings by 173%. That's a massive amount of corn to be holding, right? So even if you're not trading your Bitcoin right now into Ethereum, one of the ways you can use this chart is saying, okay, if I see this really starting to pump, maybe it's a good time to shave a little of my Ethereum into the corn, right? Just shave it a little bit, right? Just a little bit, okay? You don't have to do a close shave to your face. Leave a little bit of stubble there. Maybe even leave a nice beard, okay? Maybe you're just shaping up the beard a little bit. Okay, because you know sometimes it's easy for us to hold too much corn, especially me. I hold a lot of corn. Right, I'm a farmer. I like corn. Tastes good. Okay, of course, it's one of the not as nutritious things to eat. Right, harbors a lot of mold. It's really hard to find true organic corn because it's been so bred and crossbred and genetically modified and all this stuff. Right, but you know, I'm known to hold the corn. Okay. When we start to see these things, it might be a good idea to take a little Ethereum into corn. Of course, not financial advice. Never take financial advice from a liquidated snowman or a guy in a Pikachu hat. But you know, when we come up to this weekly golden pocket, definitely a good time, I would say, to take a little corn into Ethereum. I'm sorry, Ethereum into corn, and then wait for maybe a retest of some of these resistances, and then maybe switch back, and then boom, it's off to the stratosphere through the Van Allen radiation belts, because we haven't discovered them yet. Right to the moon, guys. Right to the moon. You know what I'm talking about? Memory Man knows what I'm talking about. Memory Man knows exactly what I'm talking about. Memory Man's concerned about the lectins in corns, tomatoes, potatoes, etc. Yeah, man, that's true. But tomatoes, I hear that if you take the seeds out, there's less. And also potatoes, I hear if you soak them, it can also get rid of the lectins. So I've been actually soaking my potatoes. I don't know if that's true, man. But I've also been growing Amish paste tomatoes. They're nice. They're indeterminate. You'll get them all year, but they have very few seeds. Very few seeds. And I've been soaking grains and stuff like that. I think that can help as well. Or sprouting. I don't sprout them, but I soak them. Am I going to be doing a collab with the Crypto Lifer? You know, I don't know. We've been trying to do a collab. He's a busy man. I'm a busy man. Every time we try, something happens. Like he's got a VIP stream, or he's out with his wife, and then I'm out with my wife, and I got this and that. It's crazy. Shout out to Abdulrahman Mahmoud. Shout out to you, bro. Igor wants me to know, can I check my Discord, bro? What's your Discord name, Igor? What's your Discord name? Of course, purple potatoes. Of course. Do I like energy drinks? Heck no, I don't. I don't. Is Bitcoin pamping right now? People say it's pamping. Are we pamping? On the daily, we're not really. Let's go to the 1 minute. See what's going on. Oh man, massive pump. Massive. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Bullish div on the 1 minute. Look at that. Crazy. Shout out to FC Master, who fell down the NFT rabbit hole. That's awesome. Well, you're probably come out a much more a much richer person. Yeah, soak beans for sure. Soak beans, soak rice, soak millet, soak quinoa. Thank you, Brandon Vezina, who says I will get 750 likes someday. I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate that. So Retique shorted 44500. Can it go to 45k to retest? Yeah, oh yeah, it could even go higher, man. Yeah, we should have longed the ruble for sure. We should have, yeah. Shout out to Clem, who shouts out Jason Casper. When should we expect a pullback? Wants to know Umit Mac Nazer. Just go back and watch the stream, man. I give you all the information you need. All the information. The Tino collab, that should be happening soon. He hit me up recently. He said he hasn't forgotten about our collab. He's just a busy guy too. You know, us crypto YouTubers, man, we're busy. We're busy guys. Shout out to Alex Green and Riley O'Brien Powell. That's true. You should always soak your grains and your nuts if you have time. My wife is she does that. She soaks nuts, and then she puts them in the dehydrator after that. Oh, so you just started trading. What's my advice? My advice is to learn how to trade, honestly. Learn how to trade. Learn how to trade. Oh, man. Go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com. There's a website out there called youtube.com. It's on the internet. And go to my channel and go to videos and I don't know, you could watch this video, how to trade like a boss. Basically, what you have to do is you have to learn, man. And before you enter any trade, you have to know why you're entering the trade. You have to have a plan for the trade, if it goes your way, if it doesn't go your way. You have to know why you're entering the trade, and you have to know, basically, you have to know before entering any trade exactly what your plans are, and you have to use good risk management. I would say you could break trading up into 3 pillars. The 3 pillars of trading: strategy, risk management, and discipline. Strategy, risk management, and discipline. The strategy is it could be anything. I could give you a strategy right now. I'll give you a strategy that you could trade right now, okay? All you have to do is come over here to indicators, search for Bollinger Bands, okay? And then search for the RSI. All right. And what you're going to do is you are going to wait until price pokes through one of these Bollinger Bands. Okay. And then you're going to look at the RSI and see, is there a divergence on the RSI? So if you see that price pokes through the Bollinger Band, okay, like it did right here, and you see that the RSI is giving you a divergence, then you just enter the trade, right? TP1 at the middle Bollinger Band line, TP2 at the lower Bollinger Band line. It's really that simple. Then we have one down here too. Look at this. Price, lower low, pokes through the Bollinger Band, the RSI making a higher low right here, and boom, TP1 at the middle line, TP2 at the upper line. And yeah, you have to sit there and wait for your TPs because the Bollinger Bands are going to move. It's not necessarily the best strategy. It'll work if you're new. It's easy to follow, right? You can be profitable doing this with good risk management. So you have a strategy. Stick to your strategy. Good risk management, meaning you're not risking more than I would say per trade, especially if you're trading on these types of time frames. These are great for ranging markets. You know, I wouldn't be risking more than 0.5 to 2% of your total account per trade. It's easy to do that too, especially if you're on these lower time frames. And then discipline, right? You have to actually stick to your strategy, and you have to have the discipline to only enter the trades you know that you're supposed to enter. If you can get those 3 things down, you'll be ahead of 95% of all traders who are starting out. You just have to stay focused. Focus on the simple, easy things that work. Don't get overcomplicated, right? Don't, when you're starting out, learn the basic things: support, resistance. I recommend using Market Cipher because it really is a very superior indicator to the RSI or the McDonald's. But if you don't have the money for it, you know, learn with some basic stuff first, man. Learn with some basic stuff first. That's what I would recommend. That's what I would recommend. Shout out to Robert Bonar. Shout out to J-Boy Bullish. Dave Hagen, what's going on, man? Marin Altman, she says that the pullbacks and dumps come around the new moons. Yeah, there's a moon indicator out there. And people swear by it. I don't really, but I've seen the correlations, but I've never been able to enter a trade based on that indicator. So where does your stop loss go? I usually put my stop loss high enough above that swing high. When I'm trading like that, I usually don't even, I use a very loose stop loss. But if you have to put a stop loss, because I like to put it like, if you're shorting from here, right? I like to give it a little playing room above that last high, above that last swing high. But I hate using stop losses, right? So what I'll do is I'll use very high leverage. And like, for example, let's say that I'm short from right here, right? I'll use high enough leverage so that my liquidation price will be like way up here, let's say. I could use super high leverage, but then I'll put my stop loss like right here so that I don't have to pay that liquidation fee. This helps me psychologically because then I don't have to worry about where to put my stop loss, right? And I can still put a big position size on my trade because I'm using high leverage. So like if price, let's say like instead of like using lower leverage saying I have to put my stop loss right here, doesn't really matter, right? We come up a little bit. Let's say we get one last pump and then dump. That's kind of how I like to do it. I go through all that stuff in the course. JasonCasperTrading.com. There's a whole section on risk management, how I use super high leverage the safe way, right? Because leverage is a tool to actually risk less. It's not a tool to gamble away everything. Leverage is a tool so that you can risk a tiny little bit amount of money and make a big amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Well, paper money, of course. Paper trading only, not financial advice. I don't even trade real money. I'm only a paper trader. Fake money, fake everything. Fake YouTube channel. As the title says, I'm only in this for the ByBit affiliates. So, yeah, of course this is not financial advice. Shout out to Quarter Crawler. And I agree, Memory Man. Lifetime market cipher for sure, man. Yeah, lifetime membership, that's the way to go. Why aren't we pumping SCB? Well, I think we're a little bit overextended. We need to consolidate a little bit if we're going to get another pump. New York has opened, but we could really dump from here. I mean, this could be a local high, guys. This could be a local high. This could be a Bart Simpson, right? This could really be a Bart Simpson. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Let's check out some other coins. Let's check out Pirate Chain. How's Pirate Chain doing? How's Pirate Chain? Let's check it out. Haven't checked it in a while. It's pretty good. Pirate Chain is pretty dang good, man. You know? I bought a ton of Pirate Chain on the, I think the 12th or the 13th of March. Ton of it. So I'm up right now about 66%. Not bad. Not bad. Pirate Chain. Let's check out Monero. I'm into privacy coins. Man, Monero, guys. Monero. Bought a ton of Monero right after this crazy pump right here. So probably like the 11th or the 12th. Bought a ton of Monero. Guys, these privacy coins are going to be, they're going to be the juice. Up 25%. They're going to be the juice, guys, you know, because people need privacy. People need privacy. That's the only way to escape the panopticon of CBDCs and programmable currencies and other things that will get me shadow banned if I talk about. You know? If you want to have any sense of autonomy, you gotta get into some privacy coins. And also, guys, if you don't grow your own food, now is the time. Now is the time to start growing your own food. That is the single most rebellious thing you could do against the system. If you hate the system, guys, if you hate the system, grow your own food. Because then they can't control you. All right? Everything everybody does for the system is for food, right? It's for food. Why do you have your stupid job? For the stupid company you hate, you know the company's evil. You know they support and fund agendas you don't agree with. Why do you work for them? Because you need that paycheck so you can get your food, right? If communities and people got together, started producing their own food, that would be very, very beneficial to society and the world. And there are some things coming, guys. There are some crazy things coming. Food shortages. Unprecedented. Unprecedented. I've been looking at some statistics. I've been looking at some data. There are some crazy things about to come, guys. They're even talking about it. Even the mainstream is talking about this. Saying there's going to be food shortages. I mean, now's the time, guys. Now's the time. Now is the time. That's true, Robert Bonar. Getting off the power grid. That's true, because you know, the same people that predicted the good old fashioned, you know, how do we say it on here? The good old fashioned, the Cia de Vida Uno Nueve, right? The people who talked about that and predicted it before it happened, and talked about exactly how the response was going to be a few months before it happened. They've also been talking about, for a while, the cyber pandemic, guys. The cyber pandemic, which is coming in. And honestly, if there is going to be a cyber pandemic, those power grids are very vulnerable and easy to hack. There's a lot of things that are easy to hack that you don't realize are hackable. Like even supply chains, power grids, water, all these things can be hacked, man. All these things can be hacked. But anyway, who cares? Who cares, guys? Honestly, at the end of the day, my faith is in the Lord. My faith is in Jesus, the Messiah. And we know. We've read the end of the book, right? We've read the end of the book. So we can have hope through all these things. But anyway, guys, I am going to head out. I'm going to cut this stream. I have some things to do. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, the Messiah. And yeah, I'm going to head out, guys. I'm going to head out. But as usual, receive this blessing. The purpose of this blessing is that the Creator of the heavens and the earth would place His name upon you and bless you and give you peace. And it goes like this in Hebrew: Yavarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, b'shem Yeshua HaMashiach Elohei Israel. In English, that means, may the Lord bless you, may He protect you, may He shine His light upon you, may He have grace upon you, may He turn His face towards you and give you completeness and wholeness in the name of Jesus the Messiah, the God of Israel. And indeed, we do have hope in Him as well. And He also does protect and preserve His people through the craziest catastrophes. So, peace, guys.